Hello guys and welcome back. So now that our game is pretty much finished, we want to prepare for exporting to iOS. So let's go ahead and you can see now if I go to my game view, you can see that we have a 16:9 aspect ratio. This isn't acceptable in mobile phones. This is a aspect ratio for monitors and for computers. So let's go ahead and go to File, Build Settings and select iOS. Now you might not have downloaded when installing Unity, you might not have selected the iOS libraries to be installed. Don't worry, you'll just have a link here to download them and then just install them. Note that all of this will work just as fine on Android as it will on iOS, but iOS has a lot more steps to be done. But I'm going to show you here first an example for Android. So if you select Android and switch the platform, switching platform, okay. Now you can see that the game now has different ratios here, and you can see this looks like much more like a phone, but our score is missing. That's because the canvas has been set to render the screen space overlay. Actually, the UI scale mode is constant pixel size. What we want to do is we want it to scale with screen size, and also we want to change the text. If I hold down Alt and click on the canvas, I can position it to the top right, and you can see it's pretty small, so I'm going to increase the font size to maybe 60, and now we also need to increase the width and height, of course, so the text can actually fit on the screen. Okay, this is much better. Let me just offset it a little bit on the X and on the Y, minus 60. There we go. Now we have our score. Now if I run the game, it works just as fine. You can see I'm going through this, we get the score, we get a color, the camera is really smooth. There you go. Okay, so why did I show you this? Very important, because when you're building for Android, there's settings that you need to look at. So open up File, Build Settings, and here you will select Player Settings, and here you have the company name, and here maybe you can just type in, let's say, Udemy company, whatever. So here you need to have your company name, and this is the product name. Here you'll have the name of your game. So in our case, it's going to be Color Switch. Now you're going to have the default icon, the icon when somebody downloads your app. This is going to be the one. Default cursor, we're not concerned about this, we can leave this at blank. And here we have the resolution and presentation. The first option here is orientation. The default orientation is auto rotation, but I don't want this. I don't want this game to be able to rotate, since that will mess up the gameplay. This game is intended to be used at portrait mode, so we're going to select portrait, very important. And now we can continue to go for icon, and you can select your icon here. Then you have your splash image, and here if you're using the default version of Unity, the free one, you will have the Made with Unity logo here. But if you purchase the subscription, that is $35, you can have that removed and only show your own. But you can also add your own logos here. Just click plus and add your own logo. We're using the default version of Unity, so you guys can follow along, because the Pro version has many more features, so we don't want you to feel left out. Now we have other settings here, and now this is very important. The bundle identifier is how, let's say, Google and Apple know how to identify your game. So here, usually a bundle identifier looks like this, company product name. So let's say your company is called Activision, which it probably isn't. So you'll say company Activision, and let's say Color Switch. So that will be your bundle identifier. And since this is our first version, we'll say that it's 1.0 and the bundle version is 1 version code. But if I were to create an update, I would have to have the bundle identifier be correct, set the version to be 1.1, let's say, and the bundle version code 2. I'm just going to remove this. I don't work in Activision. Product name, okay. Also, what's really important now, publishing settings. Use existing key stores. Now, key stores are for when building for Android. Each app has a unique key store, and if you want to create updates for that app, you will need to have that key store. If you have lost that key store, you will not be able to update your app. So this is very important. First time you do this, you won't have a key store, so you'll go ahead and create new key store, and then you will hit browse key store. Actually, yeah, you'll browse key store, and then you will save this user key store as a key store file. There we have our key store, and we can of course load it. Wait a second. Yes, when creating a key store, you need to add the password and the. So let's create a new key store from scratch. Let's say a password. I will set the password to be Udemy 1212. Udemy 12. Okay. And now I'm going to build the application. I can just go ahead and say File, Build Settings, and I can build this for Android, and I could be able to play it on my Android device. You get a APK file, and you can just upload it, and people can play it. Really simple, really intuitive, no problems. That's Android. iOS is a bit more complicated. We'll continue that in the next lecture. So thank you for watching. I'll see you then.